y'all doing?
Yeah!
Welcome to the Expressions Night. This is on behalf of the African American Heritage Committee. I'll be your host, Gabriel Ware, tonight. When we have Expressions Nights, we always have themes. We want to teach y'all stuff and we want to do special stuff with y'all. Tonight's theme is what is music? For as long as we can remember, music has been one of the biggest influences of the way we live today. Music has encouraged spirituality, love, hate, violence, ways of dressing, ways of talking, and so much more. Music, even at times, is used for therapy. With all that being said, have you ever wondered why music influences us these ways? And more than that, what is music? What if I told you music was expression? What if I told you to express yourself right now through music? Could you do it? Why or why not? Tonight we're here to answer these questions and discover ourselves at the November 2016 Expressions Night. Dictionary defines music as the science or art of ordering tones or sounds in vocal or instrumental or mechanical sounds having rhythm, melody, or harmony. But music, we always think sound, we think rhythm, we see jumping around, crazy stuff. What happens if you remove that music and just have your lyrics? What would y'all call that? Poetry. It's definitely, that's some little poetry. See, before I introduce the first performer, I'll show y'all a little history note of poetry. Poetry can be traced back as far as the existence of the modern man. When examined, even the oldest traces of literature were written in poetic form. Poetry was even a huge part of the Harlem Renaissance in the 1900s, where the unfair treatment in a segregated society caused the voice of African Americans to be expressed through poems and literature. Langston Hughes, Claude McKay, James Johnson, and Spencer were only a few of the leading poets and writers that rose during the Harlem Renaissance. These inspirational figures helped shape the amazing poets of the day. One beautiful thing about poetry is that, unlike regular music, you don't have to have like your own flow. All chains are loose. You don't have to try to start a certain time, drop a certain time. It's all you, it all flows. For that, I want to share with y'all one of my poems. I call this one, A Young Man Walking. I saw a young man walking right down the street. I saw a young man walking like he's been terribly beat, not by fist or weapon, but by hate in the seat. He got his head held down while he dragging his feet. I saw a young man walking and he lost all hope. I approached him and he said he just can't cope with all these problems and trials. He's hanging on by a rope and his immediate reaction is to fall, cry, and mope. I told the young man walking, he ain't got to feel down. You're walking a lonely road, he need to turn around. Say he can't do that because all the people in his town turn his back on him and treat him like he's another sound. I asked him, what about your family? He said, well, only you can see the way that they treat me until they really need some things from me. Maybe it's money so they can buy things for themselves, or maybe it's attention when they ain't got nobody else. If you try to take joy in the love as a sign of wealth, and I'm broke like my heart and all my cards have been dealt. I ain't got much left, so I won't have a thing. And remember that rope is now turned to a string. No more knocks on my door, and my phone never rings. I feel like a young bird trying to fly without wings, because I'll never get higher being who I am now. I keep trying to show love, and now they got me like, wow. I want to make things better. I don't even know how. First they treat me like a king, and now they telling me to bow to all these temporary answers like this drinking and smoking. But I can't do that. I'm trying to keep my eyes open for the joy that I heard is supposed to come with the sun. But I can't do it no more. I can't take it. I'm done. So at that point I realized there wasn't much I could do. But he looked familiar, like someone I was close to. I tried to hug the young man, but his body phased through. And I asked him who he was, and he told me, I'm you. I had that poem, and I was like, sort of a dark place. Felt alone. But that poem, that was my expression. When you have your expression and you bring it to the page, you're sharing with people a lot of things. And me as a poet, I think I'm just sort of all right with it. But I know someone who's just amazing. Face.
What's up?
Come on up, sir.
What's up? What's up? I don't do that. I'm not gonna do it. What's good, everybody? Can y'all hear me, first of all?
Yep.
Clearly, I know, I'm sorry, I got a cold tonight, so y'all gotta forgive me. Like he said, I'm a poet, spoken word artist. There's a difference between spoken word and poetry. Spoken word kind of flows in and out of the pocket. You can do whatever you want. There's no parameters to it. So, y'all forgive me, I'm sorry. I'm gonna do this poem, it's called Take It Back. Kind of have a little crowd participation. Anybody like hip hop in here? Anybody?
Yeah.
Old school hip hop. Old school hip hop. Old school hip hop. Let's see where y'all are. Alright, so this poem's called Take It Back. Let me see if I can do it. God, I'm gonna run out of breath. Alright, so it goes. Back in the days when I was young, I'm not a kid anymore, but some days I sit and wish I was a... Back in the days when I was young, I'm not a kid anymore, but some days I sit and wish I was a kid again. Because right now in my adult life, I find myself asking questions like, what happened? What is the catalyst of when hip-hop artists started raping music and stopped rapping? When did we stop accepting a whole and recklessly settle for just a fraction of talent? Not even a half. Not even half of a half. And forgive me if I offend some of you young cats out here, but 90% of the rappers out here, not even half of a half of a half of a half, but when broken down to the very last compound, these whack cats with mediocre raps are nothing but gimmick clowns. Y'all, we need to take it back. And I don't mean take it back, but take it back. We've entertained these empty brain lames long enough. These dudes need a little education. They need to be enrolled somewhere where the tuition is free. I'm talking about the old school. I'm talking about the hip, hop, the hibbit to the hip hoppy. You don't stop and rock it to the say up jumps the boogie to the rhythm of the boogie to beat. Back in the days when I was young, I'm not a kid anymore, but some days I sit and wish I was a kid again. Because right now they're out there slinging these tracks like crack, selling fake dreams through hot 16s to fiends better known as the general population. And we so entranced by the hot new dance that we don't even recognize that subliminally they're killing our souls. So what's the real drug problem in America? You see, they chipping away at real rap a track at a time, making the art form seem weaker and weaker. But we still promote and support when we bump their joints in our speaker, so if the problem's not with the sender, then it's ultimately with the receiver. Back in the days when I was young, I still remember that first time I heard Slick Rick's children's story. I was done, son. When he said, once upon a time not long ago when people wore pajamas and lived life slow. You see, it was the lyrics. When did we stop taking the time to design a rhyme? And it's not us. You see, it's our kids that are most affected. Enticed by kicks and snares, highs and lows, and aware of the poison injected. Infected by video shows with video holes, so dropping it like it's hot as all your baby knows. That's why some of these girls can do the Dougie, but don't know their damn ABCs. Please. Again, y'all, we need to take it back. And this time, I'm not talking about take it back, but take it back. Because we control more than you think. But see, we're out there wilding out, acting a fool, buying everything that's new, all the while making room for some moron to make a buck. We got him all hyped up because he's winning awards and gone platinum, but see, we can't really front on him for shining because ultimately it's our fault. We bought them CDs. We downloaded their joints on MP3. We paid ridiculous amounts of money to go to their concerts. But check this out. It's election season, right? I'm gonna run for president. And my campaign is I'm gonna force these cats to make real music. I'm gonna do something ridiculous like ban auto-tune indefinitely. Yeah. And when I'm done, when my campaign goes through, everything will be back to the level of Nas's It Was Written, Jay-Z's Reasonable Doubts, Biggie's Ready to Die, Outkast's Southern Playalistic Cadillac Music. But see, first, we all gotta stand together and take it back. Because back in the day when I was young, I'm not a kid anymore. But some days, I sit and wish I was a kid again. Woo! Yeah.
Drop bars, son. I told y'all he was good, right? But that wasn't just a poem, wasn't just spoken word. That was his expression. That was his expression. That's all music really is. I hear people all the time always saying how I can't do poetry, can't do music and stuff like that, can't write a song, but it's really just your expression. I know everybody here got feelings and emotions. I know music has impacted your lives too. Some people listen to happy music when they're happy, mad music when they're mad. Might be for their own religious purposes. But I want to know how music has impacted y'all's lives. Can I get a volunteer? Someone come up here. Tell me how music has impacted their life. Otherwise, I'm going to pick somebody that's not going to be pretty.
Pick somebody in red.
Red go.
Kaylon?
Go.
Kaylon?
Red go.
Kaylon?
All right.
Aaron Williams? Aaron, come go about it.
You just know that name.
We love you, Kayvon. Oh, gentleman.
Talent show.
Drop bombs.
Yeah.
How music impacted my life.
Talking to the mic. Talking to the
I
Yeah.
think if I should say it. Can y'all even hear me?
Yeah.
Okay.
Hey.
Music impacted my life. I'm gonna say music impacted my life at a time when I thought I was gonna go insane. And my witness is right here in the front row. Oh my goodness, yes. I've always been a fan of Kirk Franklin.
Well,
And I'm telling you, he brought me back from a dark place. I'm telling you. And listening to Estelle as well, you know, and her, not too many people listen to her. She brought me back. A little bit of Keke Palmer. I got a younger sister, and she loved listening to the song "We Are Family." So that actually helped my family better our family problems. So I guess that's how music impacted my life.
Thank you, Kaylon. Anybody else want to say how music impacted their life? Sergeant Wade? Sergeant Wade?
I heard where. I ain't hear wait. I don't know why you even called my name wrong.
Let's see. How did music impact my life? All right, we're talking about Kirk Franklin. She said Keke Palmer. We can take it a little bit further back and say Sister Sledge. We're going to talk about We Are Family. You know, it's the old school songs like Faith was talking about that really impact my life. I'm sitting here listening to some of these new artists nowadays, and we had a conversation earlier, if you remember it.
Yes, sir.
And I asked the question, where did that beat really come from? We're talking about Kent Jones, all right. I said,